Viewers, good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is a story that demands your kind attention, viewers. Let me start with a voice from the past, a voice dripping with disdain. Former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill had once said, "I hate Indians. They are a beastly people with a beastly religion." This was back in the 1930s. He looked at India's struggle, our hunger for freedom, and saw only savagery. To Churchill, Indians were a burden, a land of chaos, unworthy of respect. Viewers, his words were meant to keep us down, to chain us to the British Empire's shadow forever. But fast forward to 2025 and look at the pictures. See how the world has turned. British Prime Minister Starmer stepping off a plane onto Indian soil, not as a ruler, viewers, but as a partner. With him comes the largest trade delegation Britain has ever sent our way. Business leaders, innovators, investors, all lining up, the proverbial hats in their hand, ready to join hands with India as they now see us as a powerhouse. Viewers, it's a victory lap for Mazboot Bharat under Prime Minister Modi. Viewers, Churchill's sneer lies buried under the weight of this truth, this picture. The world does not just respect India, the world needs India. From London's boardrooms to Silicon Valley's venture funds, the message is clear, viewers. Indian economy is not dead. But there is a voice in India, very much on Indian soil, not currently though, that dares to deny the truth of rising Bharat. Remember, Rahul Gandhi stood up not long ago and declared the Indian economy is dead. While Rahul Gandhi paints a picture of gloom, doom, whatever you want to call it, the world sees a canvas of growth. Under Prime Minister Modi's watch, India's economy is sprinting, viewers. Even Rahul's own party colleague, Priyank Khadge, who's a minister in the Karnataka government, can't help but nod to the truth. Viewers, let's talk more proof, hard and undeniable proof. Union Home Minister Amit Shah took to X to celebrate a shining star of India's rise, Zoho, the tech giant born in Chennai and is now a global name. Make in India is not a slogan anymore. It's a revolution, viewers. Factories are rising, jobs are multiplying, our exports are climbing charts faster than a Diwali rocket. From semiconductors to smartphones, India is making it all, and the world is buying it. Just today, Prime Minister Modi added another soaring chapter to India's growth story. Just hours ago, he inaugurated the Navi Mumbai International Airport. Viewers, this is not some dusty ribbon cutting, as many in the opposition would have you believe. It is not. It's a blueprint for the future. It's a lifeline that will boost trade, tourism, jobs, and much more. So where's this dead economy Rahul Gandhi speaks of? Is it in the new airports connecting our cities? Is it in the network of highways or the startups turning villages into tech hubs? I don't know. I can't see. Maybe it's in the numbers that Rahul Gandhi has misread again. India's GDP growth is outpacing most of the world. Yes, there are challenges. Every nation has them. But to call this economy dead is to only prove that one is living in La La Land. The British Empire has woken up to India's reality. The dynastic empire here must end the denial, viewers. For the world, this is India's moment. For Rahul Gandhi and his ecosystem, this is a wake-up call. And for every proud Indian, this is a story that we must tell with pride.
It's really fantastic to have you all on board. This is the biggest trade mission to India that the UK has ever sent. So I'm much looking forward to working with you as we explore all of the opportunities and take full advantage of the opportunities in our new free trade agreements.
उस समय जब वो ट्रंप साहब ने डेड इकोनॉमिक बताया था भारत को, तो उस समय तो कोई बवाल हुआ नहीं। अब आदरणीय हमारे जननायक राहुल गांधी जी ने जो वास्तविकता है, जो सही बात है, वो लोगों के सामने में रख रहे हैं, तो पहाड़ टूट गया।
कांग्रेस नहीं कह रही, राहुल गांधी नहीं कह रहे हैं। जिसके लिए नारे लगा के आए थे अगली पहली सरकार ट्रम्प सरकार, उसने भी तो इनकी इकोनॉमी की डेड इकोनॉमी बताया था।
इंडिया ब्लॉक लगातार ये कह रहा है कि टैरिफ की वजह से, जीएसटी की वजह से, नोटबंदी की वजह से भारतीय इकोनॉमी डेड हो रही है। यूके के प्राइम मिनिस्टर से आने से सिर्फ बूस्टअप हो जाएगा, ये संभव नहीं है।
You heard the reactions. Let's open this up. Shehzad Poonawala, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Ashwini Kumar Mishra ji, leader of the Congress Party. Professor Achil Swami, political analyst. Dr. Piyush Joshi, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Anish Gawande is the national spokesperson of the NCP, Sharad Pawar faction. And Karan Verma completes this panel. Ashwini ji, where is this dead economy that Rahul Gandhi was talking about?
It's right in front of your eyes, Pranesh. And you started your statement from Churchill, and you compared 1930 to 2025. There have been British Prime Ministers came to India during UPA also. Let me read out the statement from them as well. India is a country of enormous potential, and Britain wants to be its partner in realizing that potential, by Tony Blair in 2004. India's rise is one of the most important developments of our time, and Britain is determined to be the partner in that rise. Prime Minister Gordon Brown in 2008. So, people have seen India's rise throughout the years. It's just that last 11 years has been bragged so much where the reality is very different. And let me put it to perspective by saying two lines in Hindi. तुम्हारी फाइलों में गांव का मौसम गुलाबी है, मगर ये आंकड़े झूठे, ये दावे किताबी है। तुम्हारी मेज चांदी की, तुम्हारे जाम सोने के, यहाँ जुम्मन के घर में आज भी फूटी रकाबी है। That is the harsh reality. The death of farmers has tremendously increased in last 11 years. If you compare between 2014 and 2025, you will see the number of death of the farmers or in agriculture sector has doubled. If you look at India's per capita income, we are half of the world average. Whatever the world average is, we are even half of that. We are ranking 125 odd, which is almost same as Bangladesh. In fact, we are below Bangladesh a bit. Right. So, I mean, you can have a K-shaped economy where some 1600 odd people can own the 50% of your economy. If that is the kind of India I want to build, I am not okay with that. For me, purchasing power of every individual should increase. The Kisan, the farmer should have enough purchasing power so that they can survive.
Yeah, you see, I'll tell you what the problem is with the Congress party. मुझे याद नहीं है कि आप उस डिबेट में थे या नहीं. एक हमने पिछले हफ्ते एक पैनल किया था, उसमें प्रोफेसर स्वामी थे. We were talking about the state of democracy. जैसे अभी इकोनॉमी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. He said, till such time that the Gandhis win elections by a margin of 10 lakhs, democracy is dead in India. आप अभी वही बोल रहे हैं कि जब तक गांधी फैमिली या जो इकोसिस्टम है वो खुश नहीं है, इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज डेड. एंड इफ यू वांट टू टॉक अबाउट फार्मर्स डेथ, लेट्स लुक एट कांग्रेस रूल स्टेट. 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. No one wants or is celebrating the death of farmers. They are annadatas. But to use that to say Indian economy is dead is, wrong at so many levels. And by the way, you were quoting other British prime ministers. See, it was a trap. Ashwini ji, आप उसमें you walked into it. आप एक बात बताइए, अगर वो प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स कह रहे थे इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज थ्राइविंग, तो स्टामर अभी क्या कह रहे हैं? इज ही सेइंग इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज डेड?
I was just pointing out the statement you made. You straight away jumped from 1930s to 2025 as if the India was like 1930 till 11 years back, as if we got the independence in 2014. What I was trying to tell is that India has been prospering throughout the years. When you do a comparison, it has to be apple to apple. And if you compare 10 years of
next time, I will keep it to contemporary history. I will not go as far back as to 1930. It's okay. Professor Swami, is the Indian economy dead?
Pranesh, for your benefit, I will try to explain the difference between a thriving economy and a dead economy, why Donald Trump called Indian economy a dead economy. See, our total population is 142 crores and our total GDP is $4 trillion. UK, Germany, France and Germany the population 1/7 of India, and their economy also is 4 trillion. Now you are very happy when there is a trade deal between UK and India. Can't you understand that a country with a population of 20 crores and an economy of $4 trillion will have more surplus, or a country which is populated by 142 crores and an economy of 4 crores will be a surplus? They will send their surpluses to us, and because we are a consumption economy, and you are talking about, and I was seeing as to what Amit Malviya is saying. See, the apple industry that is thriving in India, out of 100 rupees, 70 rupees is going to China, and 29.5 rupees is going to Apple. Only 0.5% is coming to us because
राजीव गांधी जी ने क्या कहा था, कितने पैसे कहां जा रहे हैं, वो याद है आपको?
यार आप पता नहीं पुरानी डिबेट्स के टॉपिक ले,
पुरानी डिबेट नहीं
आपका
पुरानी, राजीव गांधी भी पुराने हो गए, चर्चिल तो चलिए पुराने थे, अब राजीव गांधी भी पुराने हो गए. ओके, शहजाद,
अरे
आंसर द क्वेश्चन. व्हाई इज द बीजेपी सेलिब्रेटिंग द इंडियन इकोनॉमी? फॉर द कांग्रेस द इकोनॉमी इज डेड.
Look, some people's careers are dead, and Rahul Gandhi's narrative is not bought by his own leaders Rajiv Shukla and Shashi Tharoor. But let me just tell you, since the advent of Modi ji, and now he has completed 24 years in public service, holding a public position, we are now first in digital payment, second in cement and steel manufacturing, third in auto and pharma, fourth in forex reserves, fifth in stock market, fastest growing large economy in the world, lowest inflation from 12% to 2%, highest FDI, highest forex reserves, highest exports. UPA generated 2 crore jobs in a period of 10 years. Today, we have generated 16 crore jobs as per the EPFO. 11 kilometers per day roads were made, 37 kilometers today. 70 airports in 70 years, 145 airports today. 5 cities had metros, today 20 plus cities have metros. 50 crore bank accounts, 50 crore Ayushman Bharat, 12 crore Nal Se Jal, 12 crore toilets, 12 crore cylinders, 4 crore Garib Ki Awaaz, 25 crore pulled out of poverty. Per capita income has doubled. Income tax limit was 2 lakhs first, now it is 12 lakhs. 25,000 crore agri budget is 1.5 lakh crore. After Modi came, GST came, 3 Talaq law came, CA came, Ram Mandir came, 370 came. All of these things have happened and become a reality only because of Modi. First time we've created Atmanirbhar vaccines and given 200 crore doses. First time our defense exports is 23,000 crores. First time our toy exports have fallen by 70%, increased imports have fallen by 70%, and increased exports have been 239%. The first time we are now exporting even mobile phones worth $10 billion. Having said that, forget everything else, I'll give you one statistics. Rahul Gandhi's income and assets have grown by 116% since 2014. Rahul Gandhi's assets are up by 28% since 2019, and Rahul Gandhi in the first 5 months of 2024, sir, कान खोल के सुन लिए, stock market में he made 47 lakh rupees. ये तो राहुल गांधी भी बेनिफिट करता है. आप जीडीपी के बारे में कुछ लोग बोल रहे थे, क्या इंग्लैंड और भारत की जीडीपी कंपेयर कर रहे थे? ये ऐसे
राहुल गांधी पे अश्विनी जी जवाब
10 सेकंड बहुत. भारत में रोटी का दाम और यूएस और यूके में रोटी का दाम सेम है. Therefore, we have GDP by PPP, purchasing power parity, and by that index, we were $7 trillion economy in 2014. Today, we are $17 trillion, and we are at number 3 position. 11वें स्थान पे थे, 4थे स्थान पे आए, 3रे स्थान पे नॉमिनल टर्म्स में जा रहे हैं. ये है मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. राहुल गांधी का करियर डेड है पर इकोनॉमी अच्छी है, तो उनकी जेब के खर्च के लिए अच्छे पैसे आ गए.
डेटा इज ऑफ नो यूज फॉर द कांग्रेस. दे विल से हमारे बहुत सारे स्टेट्स में कांग्रेस के अपने हेडक्वार्टर्स नहीं है, रेंटेड अकोमोडेशन.
सर एक ही लाइन में बोलना चाहता हूं, हमने 12% to 2% इन्फ्लेशन लाया, तेलंगाना में दाम बढ़ा रहे, कर्नाटका में दाम बढ़ा रहे. आप वहां पे राहत दो. ये डेटा नहीं, इनका प्रॉब्लम बेटा है. ये बेटा ठीक नहीं है, इनको डेटा गड़बड़ नजर आता है. बेटा सुधारो. प्रणीत जी मुस्कुराओ, बेटा सुधारना.
अश्विनी जी
ये डेटा में क्या देख रहे हैं?
अश्विनी जी
अलाउ
देखो, गवांडे जी मान रहे हैं,
इनका सारा डेवलपमेंट ये आंकड़ों में ही है. His whole development is in these numbers only. If you see the ground reality, they have to literally give ration to 85 crore people. They have to drive voters in Bihar by giving direct cash because they have not done thing. And you ask about Telangana. Telangana has the highest per capita in the country.
Very
among
good.
all the states.
Who is saying no?
So how is the Indian economy dead? Is Telangana not part of the Indian Union? ये क्या बोल रहे हैं आप?
किसान है,
खड़गे जी ने भी तो ट्वीट किया आज प्रियंक ने.
Pranesh, the fundamental problem is Shahzad is worried about only 10% of the Indians who are privileged who holds almost 90% of the country's wealth. We are worried about the remaining 90%.
10% fake names.
When they started to having basic necessity, roti, kapda, makan.
Okay, quick answer.
When they don't
quick
do,
answer,
they don't do suicide. That is when we are actually prospering.
Ashwini ji, quick answer. You know, when Modi ji came to service, at that time the Gini coefficient was 28.8. Today it is at lowest at 25.5, and we are number 4 when it comes to income equality, even ahead of US. World Bank has said this. अब मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं अश्विनी जी, आप तो इनकम इनइक्वालिटी के खिलाफ है ना, तो सोनिया और राहुल की इनकम बांटो ना कांग्रेसियों में. अच्छा, बाय द वे, Ashwini ji started his company after Modi ji came and after the internet rates have fallen and after mobile phones became cheaper. Ask Ashwini, आपने कंपनी सेटअप करके स्टार्टअप कब बनाया बताइए?
अरे तो
अश्विनी स्टार्टअप कब बनाया बताओ?
You must have saved money during the UPA year.
बनाया कब? पूछो इनका ईयर ऑफ एस्टेब्लिशमेंट. अश्विनी
बता दीजिए, अश्विनी जी बता दीजिए.
2015 में.
ठीक है.
और कितने करोड़ की कंपनी आज?
I started company in 2015.
कितने करोड़ की कंपनी है बताओ? बताओ.
Are you getting investor for me?
कितने करोड़ की बता दो?
I started in 2000.
Okay. Dr. Joshi, I am coming to you. I know आप भी डेटा से पूरा रेडी है. 1 minute, अश्विनी जी 1 minute. Anish, is the Indian economy dead?
You know, Pranesh, I don't answer yes and no questions, and certainly not ones as controversial as this one.
Okay.
And
let me change my question. Okay.
To say that the Indian economy is dead is to ignore the contributions made by various governments in the past, including previous NDA governments that have worked for the interests of India's people. My problem, unfortunately, is when we do have crises that are staring us in the face that we do not acknowledge. So, for example, we know that climate change is a major problem for the country and its economy. 60 lakh hectares in Maharashtra have currently been ruined by unseasonal rainfall, and we're fighting with the Maharashtra government to get relief for farmers. We know that AI is going to play a significant role in transforming the economy, and we're telling the government that Skill India needs to adapt to ensure that AI training becomes a part of curricula. We know, for example, that manufacturing has fallen as a percentage share of the GDP, and we need to improve manufacturing to ensure that we're globally competitive in the age of tariffs and to diversify the countries we export to. We know that youth unemployment is a major problem, and that 44% of young people, 20 to 24, are unemployed, and 1 in every 4 young women are unemployed.
You know, Anish, I am not saying, and I said that in my introduction, I am not saying that there are no problems. But like you said, there must be, you know, a sense of measure, balance. In the commentary, you just can't say that, look, Indian economy is dead, Trump is right. That is not on. And I appreciate the candor with which you spoke, that Indian economy is not dead, and to call it dead is a disservice to not just Modi, but to previous governments as well. Now, Dr. Joshi, same question, sir. You can choose whether to answer in yes or no.
You know, Pranesh, thank you for having me on such an important debate. Of course, Indian economy is not dead, but that is not because of Modi. That is despite Modi and a history major finance minister. Let me explain why the Indian economy is in a spot of bother. You know, first and foremost, Shahzad ka data, hamara data kachra, hai na? I accept this. Now, let me tell you, Shahzad said, citing EPFO data, that Modi government generated 16 crore jobs in last 10 years. Now, he's lying through his teeth. Let me explain why. Because I am with, I have opened the EPFO website, and the key statistics which the EPFO website is showing net payroll data is amounting only to 4 crores job maximum, you know, including the gig economy workers. Now, forget about semiconductors and defense. Good job. You know, semiconductors is a new field. How many does it employ? And now, and the biggest sector which is contributing to Indian economy is the agri economy. What has happened to the agri economy? What has happened to the seafood industry? 1 lakh crore worth of shrimp export is going to take a hit. Who's going to be responsible for that? When we talk about H1B visa, the Prime Minister talks about stopping the brain drain and considering it as an आपदा में अवसर. अरे भैया H1B वाला जब आएगा इंडिया में तो उसको जॉब देने की क्या व्यवस्था करी आपने? और उसने यदि जॉब दे दिया तो यहाँ पे जो जॉब लॉसेस है उसका कुछ एस्टिमेट किया कि नहीं किया? You know, it's very easy to talk about all this in rhetorical terms, you know, but when we are talking about the actual facts on ground, Indian economy is in a spot of bother because of the inaction of Prime Minister, because of the absolutely cluelessness of Finance Minister, and that is why the Indian economy is certainly not dead, but
it's in the ICU. Okay. Karan,
Indian.
It's not dead, says the Aam Aadmi Party, but it's not very healthy.
Pranesh, it is not just healthy, it is, I would say, nothing short of an unbelievable feat pulled off. Let me just put some things in perspective. Imagine this, Pranesh, two major world events happened, the Russia-Ukraine crisis and COVID, and we continue to grow at a rate of 7.8% and manage the inflation under 2% with a fiscal deficit of just 4.4%. Show me one instance where this has happened across the globe. And Pranesh, इन्होंने भी बोला not because of Modi. I will just tell you how it is only because of the Prime Minister's vision of skill, scale and speed that this has happened. You would remember, Pranesh, before 2014, we were grappling with retrospective taxation. Something that the UPA people like Kapil Sibal, Chidambaram, they themselves said that this is a menace. It was the Narendra Modi government that got rid of retrospective taxation, lauded by no less than Monte Ahluwalia. It was Narendra Modi government that got rid of insolvency and bankruptcy code, got a graceful exit for corporate so that they can park their money here also. It is again the Narendra Modi government that for the first time came up with something like GST. They were always grappling with this idea how to compensate the producer-friendly states. He came up with a solution. He has solved legacy issues, Pranesh. And when our friend Anish says, what about the climate change? Well, if there is one government that has made giant strides in solar power generation, it's the Narendra Modi government. When he spoke about AI, it's the Narendra Modi government that has talked about chip fabrication. You all missed the bus on that way back in 2014. When our friend Ashwini ji says, 80 crore ko aaj bhi ration de rahe ho. It was the Supreme Court that ordered you to do that in 2012, where Sharad Pawar, who was the then agriculture minister, refused to do that. Supreme Court remanded him, but he refused to do that. It's the Narendra Modi government which implemented the Supreme Court order that ensured that food grains were not rotting on the godowns, but were given to the poor and needy. And Pranesh, leave everything. When they talk of on the ground, 1 second, Pranesh, this is important. 2014, there were 14 crore rural households, Pranesh. Only 2 to 3 crore had a toilet, a gas connection and a tap water connection. 2 crore out of 14 crores. Today it is almost 100% saturation. If that is not work on the ground, I want to know what is work on the ground.
No, Ashwini ji पूछ रहे हैं AI तो ठीक है, AICC के लिए क्या किया है मोदी सरकार ने?
उनका भी इनकम बढ़ा है.
करण?
नहीं, देखिए अश्विनी जी को इटालियंस की बात ज्यादा समझ में आती है, इसलिए मैं ये कहूंगा, यू सी द वर्ल्ड एज यू आर. इट वाज सेड बाय एन इटालियन फिलोसोफर मैकियावेली. मैं अगर जाकी रही भावना जैसी बोलता तो ये मानते ना, क्योंकि इनका भगवान राम में
इनको चर्चिल से प्रॉब्लम हो गई 1930s में.
आपको दुनिया वैसी दिखेगी जैसी आपकी है.
और क्या अश्विनी जी?
तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूं, तभी मैंने मैकियावेली कोट किया, इटालियन फिलोसोफर. जब खुद 92 बार है तो हर
Karan, have you visited any village in India? Have you visited any village in India? I come from a village.
Bogota.
I regularly go to village. You are talking about gas connection in every house. Which dream are you living in?
अच्छा, Bogota India.
Let him speak.
In Maharashtra, a farmer dies every 3 hours. In Maharashtra, a farmer dies every 3 hours. And you are talking about the prosperity. What kind of prosperity? You saw the recent report where 1700 people of India owns 50% of the wealth. That is the problem. Because you are talking about only for the people who's cumulatively having a lot of wealth. You are not talking about the farmers, you are not talking about the poorest, you are not talking about the unprivileged.
Farmers के बारे में मिस्टर खड़गे ने क्या बोला था, याद है आपको?
Start worrying about them, the number of deaths of farmers should have reduced.
Okay. खड़गे जी ने कुछ कहा था फार्मर्स के बारे में, आपको याद होगा. 1 minute. 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. See, this whataboutery on farmer death is not right. Let's not do this to them. Like I said, अन्नदाता है, उनके लिए थोड़ा तो सम्मान दिखाइए. They should not die. Not even one farmer should lose his life. But to say कि महाराष्ट्र में ही हो रहा है, तेलंगाना में, कर्नाटका में सब ठीक है, that is not right, अश्विनी जी. शहजाद,
देखिए, जहां तक गरीबों की बात है, let me give you some concrete examples. Prime Minister has given 5 lakh cover to every poor person. 50 crore people now have cashless facility to get the health treatment done from tertiary care. And not just that, above 70, everyone, including whatever class they are, they get the treatment. But not just that, 15,000 Jan Aushadhi Kendra has been started, by which you get discount of 80% on the generic drugs. And not just that, just now in GST 2.0, 33 drugs, completely GST has been reduced. The diagnostic kits, the GST has been reduced. But apart from that, 1 lakh crore of out-of-pocket expenditure was saved by this intervention of Jan Aushadhi Kendra and of Ayushman Bharat. Let me give you a second example. Ashwini ji ka agar dhanda 2014 se pehle hota, to 1 GB of data, Pranesh, was 300 rupees. Today it is 10 rupees. Average consumption is 150 GB. At that time, it would have been 45,000 rupee bill for 150 GB. Today, it is 1,500 rupees. This is the bill for 150 GB. This is the difference. 12 lakh rupee आज income tax level हो चुका है. But let me give you 2 more examples. Farmers की बात कर रहे हैं. किसान सम्मान निधि किसने स्टार्ट की? 25,000 करोड़ से 1,25,000 करोड़ बजट एग्रीकल्चर का किसने किया? Who implemented Swaminathan report? And finally, on just one employment point. Sir, Mr. Joshi, I have great and immense respect. You are one of the good persons in the Aam Aadmi Party. पता नहीं गलती से पहुंच गए होंगे वहां पे. Anyway, RBI claims report. 13 crore jobs have been created. RBI report I'm talking about. SBI report. 12.5 crore jobs as opposed to 2.9 crore during UPA. PLFS data has shown increase in the data from 48 to 64.5. Okay. Work participation rate, just 10 seconds more. It has gone up to in 38.8, say it has increased to 58.2. But I want to give you an anecdotal example. 90,000 kilometers of highway, today 1,50,000 kilometers. Who has built? Who has built the 70 new airports? 400 startups to 1.5 lakh startups. Who are working in these startups? Italy se aa rahe kya?
It is not enough, Dr. Joshi.
Very, Shahzad first cited the data of EPFO, right?
I stand by that.
Sir, आपने EPFO का बोला, अब आप RBI पे आ गए, फिर SBI पे चले गए. Fair enough, ना EPFO ने तो जितना generate किया वो मैंने बता दिया. Now when we are talking about,
it is right figure what
that's the problem, when Karan was saying that less than 2% inflation with a 6.5% of economic growth, amazing. तालियां बजाओ इस चीज के लिए. दूसरी बात एक और, when Shahzad talks about pharmaceutical industry, I am a doctor, I am not an economist, right? Yet I understand that 50% of the generic export is to United States of America, and the pharmaceutical industry is going to take a hit because
generics are out of it.
Generic medicine, sir.
Generics are out of it.
Sir, hold on. 55% of the Indian tariff, and
please tell him. Dr. Joshi, वो सही बोल रहे हैं Shahzad.
Generics are not there in that tariff.
Sir, I am aware of it. आप पूरी बात सुनते नहीं Shahzad, फिर बीच में आप इंटरफेयर कर देते हो. जब भी आप कोई रॉ मटेरियल एक्सपोज करोगे, many of the Indian pharmaceutical industries are listed there. When you are talking about H1B visas, then it is going to take a tremendous amount of it. And the grains, where are you going to export your grains? Textile industry, ready-made garments.
Okay, Dr. Joshi,
all that business is going to Bangladesh.
Let me say this again. I said there are challenges. But what is the fundamental point that we are discussing?
And my Prime Minister is silent on this. That is what pains me.
Okay.
He has to give it back.
Karan, he has to give it back. The Prime Minister is quiet.
I want to answer this. No, I want to specifically answer the AAP spokesperson. He's asked a very valid question. इनको शायद पता नहीं है, अभी exports के आंकड़े आए हैं पिछले महीने के.
Exactly.
Do you know, Piyush ji, कि our exports have increased in Hong Kong, UAE and Netherlands by double digits. That is called preparation of this government. They knew that they could be affected by the tariffs in USA. Our net exports have gone up by 7%, and our exports in these 3 countries have grown up by double digits. And we've signed an FTA with UK, and we are in the process of signing one with UAE. So this is the kind of dynamic government we need, which is pretty much taking all this into account that you just uttered. तो पूरी कहानी बताइए या पूरी कहानी पढ़िए. आपने जो challenges बताए, but they've come up on the challenges. And to Ashwini ji, there are 6 lakh villages in this country. 19,000 गांव में आप बिजली का खंभा नहीं पहुंचा पाए थे आजादी के इतने सालों बाद तक. एंड आपको एक आंकड़ा और दे दूं, 25 crore have come out of multidimensional poverty. I'm talking about the poor. And 12% increase in the labor force participation rate of rural and women. That speaks about economy going from bottom up and middle up.
Okay, Ashwini ji is looking for a counter. Give him some time. Professor Swami is prepared, it seems. Yes, sir.
देखिए, आप और करण और शहजाद ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं बताने की कि हमारा एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ रहा है और इंपोर्ट घट रहा है.
नहीं, आप
मोदी जी आए थे,
आप मतलब आम आदमी पार्टी किसके बारे में बोल रहे हैं?
आप प्रणेश आप
अच्छा।
देखिए, जब मोदी जी ने सत्ता संभाली थी 2014 में, रुपया डॉलर की तुलना में 60 रुपए था, आज 80 रुपए है। जब एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ता है रुपया मजबूत होता है। दूसरा, चाइना से इंपोर्ट पिछले 10 साल के अंदर डबल हो गया है और एक्सपोर्ट केवल 15% बढ़ा है। और तीसरी बात यह है कि इकोनॉमी की आपने यह हालत कर दी है कि केवल 2 राष्ट्रीय सेठों के हाथ में पूरे देश की संपत्ति चली गई है। गरीब आदमी गरीब होता जा रहा है, अमीर आदमी अमीर होता चला जा रहा है, और अमेरिकन कोर्ट्स इसीलिए सम्मन भेज रहे हैं और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया उसको सर्व नहीं कर रही।
इस पर मुझे जवाब देने दीजिए
प्लीज।
क्योंकि इन्होंने 2 राष्ट्रीय सेठों की बात की, उसमें नाम है अडानी और अंबानी। अडानी साहब पे मिस्टर गवांडे, इज शरद पवार एग्रीइंग अडानी इज अ करप्ट मैन? हिंडनबर्ग की जब रिपोर्ट आई ना, बिफोर सुप्रीम कोर्ट को थ्रैश इट, शरद पवार, हिंडनबर्ग इज अ हिट जॉब. गवांडेजी, मी खोटं बोलतोय का? तुम्हीच सांगा. And tell us if Mr. Pawar is corrupt with Adani ji, so he goes to inaugurate the project. If Mr. Adani is corrupt, then Revanth Reddy is taking corruption money. If Mr. Adani is corrupt, then in Gehlot government and in Baghel government they were investing. That time they were taking.
Let him answer.
Please, Mr. Gawande, तुम्हीच सांगा.
नाही, आमचा मुद्दा इकडे सोप्पा आहे ना शहजादजी. Unfortunate point over here which we keep reiterating is that you cannot reduce this debate to something that is this simplistic. Unfortunately, on the government side, the government seems to believe that we should all be clapping for the government every day. That we should wake up and we should be grateful that Prime Minister Modi is in power and that all actions taken by the government are correct and the government has preempted everything. So all of us should do nothing because the government has already preemptively solved every problem that can appear. That Ayushman Bharat is running perfectly. That PM Fasal Bima Yojana, which used to be available at 1 rupee until Devendra Fadnavis ji changed it, is working perfectly in Maharashtra. To assume that the Smart City initiative that left Srinagar and Jaipur no better than they were before is working perfectly. Our challenge today is that 2 assumptions are constantly made. One, that पिछले 60 सालों में कुछ नहीं हुआ. अगर पिछले 60 सालों में कुछ हुआ नहीं होता तो वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पोल हर गांव तक पहुंच नहीं पाते. और दूसरा assumption है कि PM Modi can do no wrong. If PM Modi could do no wrong, then the GST slab should not be simplified and would not have been simplified. They would have been excellent to begin with. So, you know, when we demean the debate to something that says either the government is
No, but who is demeaning the debate? Shehzad asked you the question Professor Akhil Swami was posing. He was, no, 1 minute. Ashwini ji asked that question. He says it regularly on debates about Ambani and Adani. Now you see, it makes for a catchy slogan. You can say these things to mislead people. But, you know, will it fetch the Congress votes? I don't know. Ask Mr. Revanth Reddy. He goes to, you know, take photographs with Mr. Adani because that's how you build a relationship. He wants to get industry in Telangana so that people get jobs. If Adani is such a problem, file a case against Mr. Adani and have a legal probe against him. That's all.
Simple submission, if I may.
Please.
If I may, Pranesh.
Please.
I have one simple submission. We have a very simple fundamental philosophy where we believe in the Supreme Court of India. Once the Supreme Court of India declares somebody as corrupt, we will call them corrupt. Until then, we will not raise those allegations. We only request that same courtesy from the BJP on other allegations of corruption.
The BJP will answer, but I am only extending you. Please indulge me. Let me ask you this, Anish. I am extending your logic. Ashwini ji, 1 minute. पहले आपने जवाब देने का कोशिश किया, अब आप प्लकार्ड उठा रहे, रुक जाइए. Don't protest on the panel. 1 minute. Anish Gawande, this thing about Supreme Court never said Chaukidar chor hai. But Rahul Gandhi said Chaukidar chor hai. Supreme Court did not see any chori in Rafale deal. The Congress party said. The Supreme Court has not said there is vote chori, but the Congress party says. Supreme Court hasn't said Gaddi chod. The Congress party says Gaddi chod.
Exactly.
But you are now presuming, and I've told you this multiple times, Pranesh, I do not have the daring to become the national spokesperson for another political party when I've only been national spokesperson for one political party for just about a year. So these are the questions the Congress should answer.
Okay, Congress should answer. Ashwini, just one line. Just before Ashwini, one line. Just one line.
supported the
Gavandeji, you have said very right thing. You said that unless Supreme Court declares something as illegal or somebody as corrupt or not corrupt, we should not jump the gun. I agree with you, even for Rahul Gandhi's case, even for Adani case, even for ABC case. But when Rahul Gandhi is told कि वोट चोरी प्रूव करो, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में SIR चल रहा है, go and present your evidence there, he says सुप्रीम कोर्ट में क्यों करेंगे? Now Gawande ji, don't be spokesperson of Congress, be spokesperson of Constitution, अर्थात संविधान. Now please tell me that when leader of opposition says कि भाड़ में गया Supreme Court, what does Mr. Anish Gawande, the supreme constitutionalist of Sharad Pawar's party, feel?
The Anish Gawande in the room says that please go see the 16 petitions filed by my party in the very courts that seem to be maligned every day, and please see the various submissions we've made to multiple CECs from Rajiv Kumarji, who I met personally, to Gyanesh Kumarji.
नहीं, राहुल जी को बोल रहे
No, I'm saying that we have full faith in the courts, and I will tell you this.
चलिए अश्विनी जी जवाब दीजिए.
Democracy is safe tonight.
Democracy is safe.
Democracy dead नहीं है.
Karan, I'm coming to you after this. Ashwini ji.
Let me answer two very important question here. One on Adani. हम बोल रहे हैं कि एक एग्जाम में 8 पेपर होते हैं, 3 पेपर में इन्विजिलेटर हम हैं, 5 पेपर में इन्विजिलेटर भारतीय जनता पार्टी, और हम बोल रहे हैं उन 5 पेपर में चोरी हो रही है, उन 5 पेपर में चीटिंग हो रही है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी बोलती है आपको 3 पेपर है, उनमें चीटिंग नहीं करता, वो तुम्हारे में कैसे कर सकता है? By the same logic, what we are telling is Adani and Ambani's are getting undue benefits from the government at certain projects. We don't stop anyone, and that doesn't mean they cannot do they cannot do projects in other states where the non-BJP ruled states are having government.
अश्विनी जी देखिए, ये आपने क्वेश्चन खुद ही फॉर्म किया था. ये इट्स अ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड क्वेश्चन. लेट मी सिंप्लीफाई दिस. मुझे ये बताइए, इज अडानी करप्ट?
Allow me to finish. I have a very strong objection on one more thing.
बोलिए सर.
I have a very strong objection on one more thing. शहजाद, ये बताइए राहुल गांधी जी ने कब कहा कि बाहर में जाए सुप्रीम कोर्ट? आपने भी बोला, ये आपका स्टेटमेंट है. आप बताइए राहुल गांधी जी ने कब कहा? गिव मी अ कोर्ट और से सॉरी राइट नाउ, बिकॉज आपने बोला है कि बाहर में जाए सुप्रीम कोर्ट. राहुल गांधी ने कब बोला ऐसा?
हाँ, मैं सब बता रहा हूँ. उनकी दादी माँ के बारे में पता है? सुप्रीम कोर्ट को कमिटेड जुडिशरी बनाया. अरे सुन लो ना, अभी कान खोल के सुनो, बता रहा हूँ. अरे बता रहा हूँ.
लेट्स बी सिविल विद ईच अदर. 1 minute, जेंटलमैन, प्लीज.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट की अगर इतनी चिंता होती तो जाके सुन लीजिए ऑफिशियल कांग्रेस का बयान. जब उनसे कहा गया व्हाई डोंट यू गो टू सुप्रीम कोर्ट, ही सेड हम क्यों जाए सुप्रीम कोर्ट, हम तो जाएंगे किसी और अदालत में. तो इसको भाड़ में जाना ही बोलते हैं. जनता आपको भाड़ में ही भेजती है वोटिंग के टाइम पे. ये बोलने का तरीका होता है.
Okay, 1 minute. Ashwini ji, 1 minute. Ashwini ji, 1 minute. Answer my question, sir, please. You wanted to answer the Adani question, but you did not frame it correctly. Question ये है, is Adani corrupt? Yes or no? Because many in the Congress, including Rahul Gandhi, says yes to that question.
Yes, he is corrupt. He is corrupt.
Okay.
He is getting undue favors from the government.
Okay. Why is the Telangana government doing business with him and giving him undue favors?
He is not corrupt there.
Telangana government doesn't give him any getting extra advantages, giving him any extra favors.
अगर आदमी करप्ट है, अच्छा 1 मिनट, इसको मैं थोड़ा और ह्यूमनाइज कर देता हूं. 1 मिनट सुनिए सर, सुनिए. एक अरविंद केजरीवाल को राहुल गांधी ने करप्ट कहा, तो दिल्ली में अरविंद केजरीवाल करप्ट है, लेकिन हम कांग्रेस अलायंस कर सकती है दूसरी जगह. ऐसा ही कुछ है.
Now you are again doing whataboutery, Pranesh. This is pure whataboutery.
करण
तो अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल की तो बात ना करें तो ही अच्छा है. I think he has lost his mental balance.
One question from
बारे में क्या बात?
Let Karan come.
करण मान जाए. एक वाक्य करण, एक वाक्य. ये देखो, ये शरद पवार जी जब अडानी के साथ थे, करण 10 सेकंड, गवांडे जी ये करप्ट वाले अडानी के साथ बैठे थे या ये नॉन करप्ट वाले के साथ?
अनिश नो 1 मिनट. करण,
You know, Pranesh, what is sad here is that Ashwini himself is an entrepreneur, himself has opened a company, understands the rigors that an entrepreneur has to go through, and he is casting aspersions on someone, and Adani actually goes through a lot of rigor in the sense that his capital is blocked for pretty much 8 to 9 years before he starts receiving a return. I mean, this man has been ostracized by the Karnataka Lokayukt, by the Appellate Tribunal, and Ashok Gehlot, when he was the CM, when he called for an investment of 65,000 crores, a contract worth given to Adani. At that time, in fact, It was done on the goodwill of Adani. So there are some projects that Adani bids for. There are certain which are awarded to Adani based their goodwill and their track record. One of those projects was the project given by Congress. That shows Congress's implicit faith in Adani. So this hypocrisy, needs to be called out here. And Ashwini ji, you should not do that to someone who's a job creator and who's a contributor to the Indian economy. You do a great disservice to your own profession and to the Indian economy.
January 2024, government of Telangana signed 4 MOUs with the Adani portfolio of companies. This happened at the World Economic Forum in Davos. So we've run out of time on this one. I thank some of you for joining us on debate number 1, viewers. Let's shift our attention. Let's talk about the vote chori bomb that Rahul Gandhi keeps